thought it might be fun to read you a few pages from my Abuelita's Magical Molcajete book. It's something that I do at events and I always love it, so I thought, why not share it with all of you? Here we go. The First Visit, Burro Piñata Slippers, Carlsbad, February 9th, 2017. A rakish crash abruptly awakened Maria, and she sprung up in her bed and drew the blankets over her head. Nightmares had become routine since her beloved twin sister Marisol had tragically perished 6 months earlier, and now she awoke most mornings in a blanket tent. Her mind spun out of control with nonstop, unpleasant scenarios of her untimely demise as her thundering heart pounded in her ears. Had someone broken into her house? Was she going to be San Diego's breaking morning news? Spinster found dead after a late-night home invasion. You must calm down, she told herself. It was just a nightmare. No one is about to hurt us. You two think that I'm just dreaming again. You haven't even moved while your mama hides under our blankets like a small child, Maria whispered to Sophia and Isabella, her two Shih Tzus, snoring peacefully at the end of her bed. And then there it was again. Bang! Maria lowered the blankets, peered into her dark moonlit bedroom, and dragged her sleeping dogs into her lap. They snuggled next to each other, fell back asleep, and resumed their stereo snoring in seconds. We're not alone. Someone's in our house, little girls, but we'll be okay. The Carlsbad police will be here any minute. She halted and observed her surroundings. Or maybe not, she continued. As she looked at her alarm keypad mounted on the wall, the red indicator light was on, but no sirens rang. She instinctively drew her right hand to the center of her chest and willed her heart rate to slow down as it raced even faster. What do I have to protect us? A baseball bat, a knife, fierce guard dogs. She looked down at Sophia and Isabella stretched out on their backs, paws up, comatose. I have nothing, she thought. The loud rhythmic pounding began again, and Maria covered her ears. It's a dream. I don't hear anything. Your dogs with supersonic hearing. Clearly you don't hear anything. She paused and listened carefully. Wait, I've heard this sound before, she whispered to Sophia and Isabella, peeking out from beneath the blankets. Mija, get up and join us in the kitchen, yelled a familiar voice from downstairs. Abuelita Magdalena? Maria shouted and took a deep breath. What a relief. Abuelita had been dead for 3 decades, buried in the Encinitas cemetery, and not in her house. I'm still dreaming, but the last thing I need is an entirely new nightmare series starring bossy Abuelita. I already have enough scary material for my frequent nightmares. Out of desperation, she tried the crazy pinching exercises one of the dozen therapists she'd seen in the last few months had suggested to wake herself up. She pinched the back of her neck, then the bottoms of her feet, and finally her underarms. Ugh, that hurt. I probably didn't need to pinch myself so hard, but I think it worked, Maria said to her dogs. But why did she smell chorizo, frijoles, and tortillas de harina? The rich aromas of her all-time favorite Mexican breakfast were most definitely coming from her kitchen. Mija, don't make me walk up your stairs. Your breakfast is getting cold. Get down here right now, echoed the woman's voice. I have to go. I don't want to make Abuelita Magdalena angry. She had a terrible temper, Maria thought, as she processed those familiar words from her childhood. But I need some form of protection. Some crazy woman impersonating my Abuelita might have broken into her house and wants to... She stopped. This is just a nightmare. And you'll be awake soon. She got out of bed, put on her fuzzy black bathrobe, and went to her closet and found her tallest pair of tacones, 6-inch black stiletto heels. She'd been able to fight off her older brother, Julian, during their youthful rumbles more than once by throwing her shoes at him. Are you two coming with me? She asked Sophia and Isabella. They rolled over, picked up their heads, looked at her, and she swore she heard them say, no, and laid their heads back down. Maria shook her head back and forth. My dogs are more interested in their beauty sleep than protecting their mama. Be brave, Maria, she told herself. There's a perfectly logical explanation for all of this. I'm coming and I'm armed, Maria said as she slowly descended the stairs, a shoe in each hand, her arms extended as if they were pistols. Mija, what took you so long? Said the elderly woman with her broad smile as Maria peeked into the kitchen. Maria felt her eyes nearly pop out of their sockets in disbelief. Abuelita Magdalena, it is you. She recognized her short, round grandmother in her signature attire, a white huipil, traditional Mexican dress with a brightly colored embroidered neckline, a bright orange apron, her furry burro piñata slippers, and her hair in a single thick white braid that nearly reached her waist. Abuelita Magdalena stopped banging the tejolote in the black molcajete filled with red salsa and walked toward Maria. She took the tacones out of her hands, kissed both of Maria's cheeks, and gave her a giant bear hug. Don't be afraid, mija. We're here to help you. Do you remember my sisters? Maria turned and saw 8 old Mexican women standing around her kitchen island. They were short, most likely less than 5 feet tall, olive-skinned with long white braids twisted neatly on the back of their heads. They wore white huipils like abuelitas with bright-colored aprons and slip-on furry slippers that matched. They stared at Maria, sizing her up. Suddenly, they all began speaking at once. She's too thin. That's why she never got married. No. She's too smart. No man wants to marry a woman smarter than him. Isn't she a math professor? Well, she's still beautiful, but she needs to come up that grade. Gray at 42. Thank goodness she fixed that crazy wandering eye. No. Hermanas, she can't cook. Who wants a woman who can make tortillas? I hope you enjoyed that. That's the first few pages of my book. And please reach out on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube if you have any questions. And as always, be well, everyone. Have a great day.